Okay, so we're doing an inspection and we went ahead and we awarded it to a trusted vendor called GNU Roofing. And this is the award notice that they received. And that GNU Roofing is going to now log in and give it to a technician who's out in the field to put it on his mobile device. We're going to go ahead and log in as if we were GNU Roofing, so we can start to process the ticket. Now we've taken that ticket and we've given it to this technician, and he's out in the field working through it on his mobile device, and then he's capturing that data. You can see the technician has completed his inspection, so he's going to go ahead and press complete inspection. But he's going to review all the different sections. There's only one section, and it's called main. He can change the deficiency name, deficiency and name. In the composition, he can edit some things. He can edit the test cut, he can edit the wood, but he cannot edit the layers. On the deficiency, he gets access to the deficiency libraries. Let's click the little button and see how it located it, that failed repair. Yeah. Is that the right location? Then we get down to this condition summary, which is probably the most important part. This is where he's going to use his discretion and his experience to indicate what condition the roof's in. And you're just going to find that a lot of times that is not going to be that accurate. And we need to click an edit mode. Imagine there's an edit button on the top right that would give access to all those things, and you would just go ahead and change those. As we get over to recommendations, you can't change that because that's the total of all the repairs. If you change the repairs, that number would change. The replacement was just a bare bones estimate based upon the guy standing in the field. Obviously, it's a big number. It needs to be editable. And then also the recommended action is to either repair or replace. And then there's some text that's with that. That needs to be editable. So it needs to be an edit icon, pencil, or whatever it is in the corner of each of those boxes to where you can edit what's editable. Now we're going to go ahead and submit that pay request. That pay request is going to come over to us, and we're going to review that pay request. Here it is. Here's the text. Here's the pictures, because all this is a review of what they submitted to us. That's why it has an orange box around it. Okay, so this is just what they submitted to us. It's not necessarily what we're going to send to the owner, but what we want is access to this information to be able to generate an invoice. So that's why we're approving this to make sure that it makes sense. Their grade's fine. If we're going to change it for the owner, that's okay. That's something we're going to do. We'll leave their grade to what their grade was. We're giving them a grade on how well they performed for us and getting this inspection for us. We also have the ability to reject this pay request, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to approve it. And now we're going to scroll down. You see it's approved. And now we're going to do the client invoice. Okay. They're both $100, which means we'd make no money. All right, there's the property, Woodman's, Buffalo Grove. We're going to change the price to 200, 150, whatever. Now let's scroll down and let's do some editing of that report. Wait, well, where's the report? Wait, we have to edit things. The most important thing here, remember people, is we need to mark up each of the deficiencies. So let's say there's 25 problems on this roof. Some are 200, some are 300, some are 800, some are 10,000. We need to be able to edit each of those deficiencies and put a react price in. So we've got the vendor price. There needs to be a react price. Why is that? Because they have the ability to purchase these repairs a la carte. So there needs to be a markup attached to every single one of them. And then again, there needs to be one potentially, one just for the submission of the report. Okay, but as they go to do repairs, the repairs have to be marked up. There could be $20,000 worth of repairs on this building. If they did all of them, we'd make no money. We'd lose money because of the time that we'd spend supervising the job. So we should be able to scroll down right now and be able to edit the observations, the deficiencies, the composition, which rarely will be changed, the condition, and the recommendations. All have to be edited, need to be tweaked. We're doing a report for an owner. We can't take what we got from some contractor who was the low bidder on the job, whose technician doesn't even speak English. We need to be able to review that and make the appropriate changes to it. All this allows us to do is mark up the actual invoice for the inspection. None of the repairs are marked up. All right, let's go ahead and send this invoice. All right, inspection completed. That's looking pretty good. Do the PDF. See, those numbers that you see for the repair, the $850, if you scroll down, you'll see that that's what carries down into this proposal. There's no markup. No markup. Now, I know that you guys added this ability when someone adds an additional action item, but as you see in the change order, it says this also should appear in inspections. Now what we want to do is we want to have a roof leak that takes place on this same building. We'll call it an emergency leak, scribble some notes, complete our service request. We get that in the office. The admin goes to his dispatch board. There it is in orange. He presses dispatch, and we're going to go ahead and give that to New Roofing because we called him up. He said he could be there on that date and that time, and that he could do it for $105. So we're going to award that to him, and it's going to go ahead and go into his inbox. Oh, and there it is. We're going to go ahead and award that to him. Okay, so we're going to log in as New Roofing and then show you what they see. We've got a new ticket. We're going to assign it to a technician. It's going to go over to his mobile device. There it is. He's going to click on that ticket. He's going to look for that leak. We're adding an additional action item. Okay, so now we're closing out the ticket. Yeah, check that box. No. Right there. Now the proposal amount is going to be $700. Now press submit. Let's look at the work order. And the technician can leave the site, and the information that he gathered becomes available in his office. Okay, so that is correct. They're saying that it's $400 to fix that. Additional action item pricing. So they're going to confirm it. Now, this is them in the office. So they can alter what the technician, we approved the thing generally that it looks right, but they can change the pictures out now. They can do just about anything. They can change, they can't really change pricing here because these are time and material items. Okay. Something they're proposing to us. That's okay. We like it. And they'll submit their repair request. On our side, the admin can access the ticket from notifications with the dispatch board. And as you can see, it gives them two choices. One is to review the pay request. We're going to go ahead and do that. But we'll keep on rolling. So can they edit stuff? No.
No.
Okay. So, oh no, this is us. This is us reviewing it, and we can't edit what they sent us. Which makes sense, because this needs to be a permanent record. What they sent us. This is what they fixed. They were on time and material when they did it. This is what they fixed. They were on time and material when they did it. This is for what they proposed to us for a leak and repair, and the value and the pricing is $400. Now let's go ahead and review what they did for us. Now it's approved by us. Now we're going to take that data and we're going to invoice the client. As you can see, the vendor invoice is $557. We need to make some money. It's going to add a surcharge. Okay, let's scroll down. Let's see. There's our curve flashing and leaks. Oh, he spelled something wrong. Oh, wait, we can't edit it. Can't change it. Oh, he told us that they forgot one of the deficiencies. And they sent us the pictures in a separate file. Can we add one? No. But there is an additional action item. And what I can see is that it is working because it says vendor proposed pricing, $400. React proposed pricing, $700. And as Jim was alluding to, it is editable. This is kind of what we need for each of the deficiencies. Scroll right there, vendor proposed pricing, React proposed pricing. We can't get to this in an inspection report. Okay, so press update. Okay, emergency leak service, $757 for emergency leak service. And then it shows there's an outstanding action item and the repair cost is $700. That's good. That's great. Is there any way to approve that? If there isn't, we'll work on that later. Curve flashing leaks, there's a problem. I would say the additional action item honestly should appear after not at the bottom of the invoice, but maybe at the end of the work order, but we won't change that now. What we're trying to determine is whether an inspection report is editable. Okay, let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and send one out and see what we get. Okay. We look over in the notes and history and it is timestamped in there. Let's look at it. Okay, that looks good. There's the invoice. There's an outstanding action item and there's the work order.